Well, I just looked at a bunch of the little videos that I made. No clue as to what happened to that brush. This is the one that was hard on the front end because it had dried glue on it. And I kind of used it. It was a little rough. But from being inside the bag for a little while, it's at least softened up a bit to be usable, but I want the new one. And I should be able to soften it up in warm water if I find it. When I find it, because it didn't go away. I sometimes think that happens. This is pretty exciting. I have here 3 of these little mini glue book, idea book scavenger journals. I put, I think, 5 sheets in each signature that are 5 inches across and 6 inches up and down to fit inside the Good and Plenty. They are, of course, as usual, just a little tiny bit larger, but it doesn't matter. It feels good. And I just used this assorted stash I had put together for larger junk journals, as well as some pictures. I grabbed a magazine and got a bunch of pictures out of it, and that helped me get a magazine out of the way. So anyway, this is how they look. There's a picture. There's a lined page. These are for elementary school children. This is a graph page. This is a music page. And then there's a map page. And this has the Air Force airport. I thought that's nice for a boy. But I don't want to do that kind of stuff, boys, girls. And this particular boy likes trains and planes and automobiles. Okay, and I believe this is Wagner that I have in here. And college rule. I do have some wider ruled stuff too that I haven't used. I decided I didn't need any tea dyed or anything like that. Just this is unusual enough because these kids are actually just getting an introduction to books. This is a local scene. We live down around in here. It's the South Bay, the Pacific Ocean. Here. It's the other side. Out here is, well, I guess we're in here. Out here is Malibu and everything. And a telephone directory page. Lined graph. I loved graph paper when I was a kid. Here's a map of an area with a lot of hills. So lots of little bitty streets. It's in Ventura. Some nice map pages. So a similar pattern there. And then here I decided to put in 1 piece of Franken paper and 1 piece of brown bag and 1 piece of picture and a line and a graph and a map. And they're held in with rubber bands that are which size? I got these at Ralph's. This one is a little wide here. But this size with a bit of a width. The real thin ones stretch more. So they're not really good for what we need, because what we need are to keep our pages in there tightly. These books do lie flat. We kind of have to bend them a bit, but they do lie flat. Lie flat. I lay it flat. It lies flat. Okay. They may be a little bit full, and this may be pooching things out. But I like them. They're nice in the hand. So that's the size of rubber band. You wouldn't think it would work. And rubber bands like to be used, and when they wear out, you just tie them back together once and start searching for new bands, and then replace the bands. And like with all of the travel journals and everything, you can take entire signatures out. When you're done with them, put them away, save them, and put a new one in. And 6 inches by 5 inches is a pretty easy shape to cut, shape and size. So that's one. Here's another one. A photo. I really like this one. Lines, graph, music, and a map. This is a harbor. I think this is in Ventura. And here's Pacific Coast Highway. I try to include local things too, words that the kids might like to read. Point Mugu, M-U-G-U. That's a good one. Good one to read. Okay. And music, graph, lines. Here's another signature that we're coming to. Oh, it's not. I guess I put another. Oh, there it is. That's the end of this first one. Here. Here's our new signature that we're coming to. These seem to lie a little flatter too, and not bulge out as much, with the bands fairly close together in the middle. Okay, here's another picture, phone books, lines, graph, map, Ventura Freeway. That's the 101. So these are recognizable things when they get older, or they hear on the news or whatever. Oxnard. It's a county that's north of Los Angeles County. It's a beach one. It's cooler, but it's before Santa Barbara. And the phone book, bump, bump, and this could work as our favorite things, but there's no E on it, to glue. And these are things that they can probably read. Some of the kids are older. And there's my Franken paper. There's something from Trader Joe's. Music paper. Texture paper. Visual texture. Line, graph, map. There's Oxnard and the ocean. Some of the mountains around. And graph, line, picture, music, Trader Joe's, Franken paper. Let's see. These two here have another little sheet of cardboard inside. They're not fully dry. I'm really giving them a good handling. They're starting to feel nice and leathery. And this is the third one. For a slightly older child, I'm trying to find. There's a magazine, picture, lines, graph, music, map, Mulholland Highway, famous one. Is that the county line? Santa Monica Mountains, Mulholland Highway. Yeah, Los Angeles County, Ventura County. Different canyon roads and paths here. So that's a nice one. South Coast, which is not South Coast in Orange County, but South Coast in Ventura. More Wagner. Graph lines. Magazine, paper. I decided to slip this one in. Magazine, paper. Oh, South Bay, South Bay, South Bay addresses. Lined graph. Map. Thousand Oaks. Which is in the valley, north of LA. Simi Valley. Graph lines. Telephone. Picture. The other side of the Cool Whip. Franken paper. Nice little photograph. I guess it had some text on the back, so I glued paper on it. Trader Joe's map. You know, I guess this could stand a couple more pieces of paper. I think I took them out, yeah, because this is kind of bulging out a lot. I think this Franken paper. It's no problem. But that makes a lot of pages because this is 10 and two-sided, so it's 20, 40, 60 pages in these little bitty books. So I think they look pretty good, and imagine kids will have a lot of fun doing this until they break one. So I think I will include 2 spare rubber bands in each to each pair of parents that go with the kids. And I want to get a glue stick to go with it too, and then write a little bit about what you can do. And I also need maybe some suggestions. Circles, triangles. These are good suggestions for triangles that you find. Things to find around. And you know, they're so sharp-eyed. They'll find them anywhere. Squares. Different kinds of triangles. Okay. But also just looking around in their environment, which they do anyway. Laughing Cow is something I remember from my childhood. I liked that logo. I also liked Elsie from Borden. Elsie the Borden cow. And the Flying A gas stations, because my name starts with an A. And then the Mobile Flying Horse, because it had wings like the Flying A, which was also a gas station. I believe I just made that little transfer in my head, but I liked those very much before I was a school child. Blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about these, and now I'm going to have to finish up the rest of them. And I need a couple more Good and Plenty boxes, because I thought, well, if I just make a whole bunch at once, I might be a little happier. And I have been, just cutting up the squares and stacking them up. So that's nice. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Leave comments if you're interested in my going into anything more or less. Let me know. And subscribe. Give me a thumbs up to encourage me. I really am enjoying this. It's an interesting social activity. And I'm learning how to do it. Like and subscribe, please.